guys, and welcome to Cricket Caviar. Wishing you all a very happy Janmashtami. For guys not knowing, it's a Hindu festival which signifies birth of God. So today I'm going to talk about West Indies versus South Africa and the two T20Is that have been played by West Indies and South Africa. And I want to congratulate West Indies for winning this T20 series. Albeit there are some asterisk mark which I want to talk about. Quinton de Kock has retired. David Miller was not playing. Henrik Klaasen was not playing. Kagiso Rabada was not playing. And of course, the other paceman, which is Anrik Nortje, was also absent. So it was a significantly weakened lineup. Whereas if you compare from West Indies side, you didn't have Johnson Charles and Brandon King who were opening the batting. You didn't have Andre Russell. But apart from that, it was almost a full strength lineup. So now let's get into this T20 series and what happened. The first match was a complete mismatch, and I just want to say, uh, from 42 for 5, South Africa recovered very well to post a total. And I'm not agreeing with the batting order that South Africa has. They have Rassie van der Dusen at playing at 5 and Donovan Ferreira also playing at 6. But they have discovered a gem in this series, which is Patrick Kruger. Patrick Kruger is an all-rounder. I think he played wonderfully. When they were 42 for 5, he was the first one to counter-attack, and which was later followed by Tristan Stubbs playing an absolute blinder to finish with 173 and give a challenge to the West Indies batting lineup. But it was never a challenge because the new opening combination of Alec Athens and Shai Hope absolutely destroyed the South African bowlers in the power play, especially Nanderberger was taken for many runs. And then comes when the first wicket falls after the power play, they had already scored 74 in the power play. And then comes Nicholas Puran, and he was in great rhythm. And I wonder why the Taruba pitch at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy was not um, made suited to this kind of West Indies strength that we have seen in T20 for the T20 World Cup, where the pitches at Taruba and also at St. Vincent were not that great. And I wish the pitches had been like this, and we would have seen much more, brilliant West Indies throughout the T20 World Cup. Now, uh, Patrick Kruger did well, but yeah, it was a total mismatch what West Indies did, and especially Nicholas Puran scoring just 50 of 25, and he looks out of the world when he just plays like that, and keeps on hitting every ball, and especially how he destroyed Nandre Burger was just amazing to watch. But the second match is which was the most interesting. The series was on the line, and this time West Indies have to bat first, and they don't get a very good power play score, and this is where things get interesting. I thought West Indies can be caught up here by South Africa, but Rovman Powell and Shafin Rutherford were amazing. They scored 86 runs, and the moment you score 86 runs in the mid overs, that's that. You are always going to finish over par, and they had some good finishing by Romario Shepherd. Now, Romario Shepherd was not good in the first T20, but second T20I, his bowling was just superb, along with Shamar Joseph and Mathew Forde, who was the star of the first T20I. He was bowling brilliantly in the power play and even in the death. Shamar Joseph also has done brilliantly in this series. I think this is an ideal bowling lineup for West Indies, for Sri Lanka and India, where the T20 World Cup is supposed to be in 2026, where they have Shamar Joseph, Mathew Forde as the two bowlers, along with Romario Shepherd or Andre Russell, and the two spinners and the three spinners. They're all doing brilliantly. Akil Hussain, Gutekesh Modi, and Roston Chase. If all three can play together, they will have a great time in. They'll provide a great balance to the side in India and Sri Lanka, and that's why I think this is a great bowling lineup. And this series is significant not because of the result that West Indies are winning 2-0, but also it's a lead up to the next T20I World Cup, because last time West Indies played a bilateral series, they also beat South Africa. But that was just as a preparation for the T20I World Cup, whereas this series starts a new road map for the T20 World Cup in 2026, where West Indies could be one of the favorites because the firepower they have with the bat is just amazing. And there are smaller boundaries in India where they will play knockout games most probably. I think that's where I think West Indies are more favorites to win, even as compared to their home cricket grounds in the islands of West Indies. So yeah, I think they were brilliant. Just maybe Andre Russell if he comes back instead of Romario Shepherd. But I just want to say the Romario Shepherd with all his variations in the second T20I was just superb, because to get Aiden Markram out and uh, just to tell you guys, the start that South Africa had in chase of 179 was 71 for 0 in the power play, 71 for 2 in the power play. They lost 2 wickets in the last over of the power play. And after that, Aiden Markram could have guided them to an easy win, but Romario Shepherd came back well. And he has now that slower ball. He was using that slower ball and also that sling action reverse swing, which Romario Shepherd sometimes uses. I wonder what happens to him against, you know, in the death. Sometimes he goes for the Yorker too often and puts up those slot deliveries. Um, but it was an incredible match. Just want to say Moti and Akil Hussain were also brilliant in the second ODI. The spin really tied up the South Africa chase. Uh, when you think that they won by 30 runs, you have to say it was an over par total. But when you see that they were 6 overs 71, you have to say it was a spirited defense from the West Indies team that they got this result in favor of them. For South Africa, I think Nander Burger was a big letdown, but they Kwena Mafaka debuting and bowling well. I thought he bowled well. Beyond fortune, I think was not that great, but I think Lizard Williams, who replaced Nandre Burger in the second T20I, got Powell, got Puran in the same match, and I think he bowled really well, Lizard Williams. So he could be one of the future options in case Rabada and Norke are not available. Bartman was, I thought, okayish. But what really did not work for South Africa is why did Aiden Markram bowl 3 overs in this series for 42 runs? That's something that I can't understand and cannot be explained even by Aiden Markram, because he deprived Patrick Kruger, he deprived Otniel Bartman to bowl those, complete their spells. They didn't even complete their spells. He deprived them of it by bowling these useless 3 overs, which he considered for 42 runs, which were of no meaning. So West Indies spinners were better than South Africa spinners. Clearly, they were better than Markram and beyond Fortuin. And West Indies pacers were miles ahead of South Africa pacers. Even though Lizard Williams did make a small comeback, I thought Shamar Joseph bowling that 139, 140 kph Yorkers in the second game and always picking up a wicket as soon as he is introduced into the bowling lineup is just an amazing skill. So Shamar Joseph is finally coming onto his own and he's showing that he can be a dangerous bowler in this format as well. I think if West Indies want to maintain his fitness and longevity, they should only use him in Test cricket and T20 cricket. Don't use him. Use Alzari Joseph in ODI cricket, but limit Shamar Joseph's gameplay. Let him play IPL or any other league if you really want him to improve as a T20 bowler. But I really think ODI cricket, you should limit his ODI cricket right now. And Mathew Forde should be brought into the side also. And he's a brilliant bowler. I mean, if he has a knack of picking wickets. Even I saw that against home series in England last year, where he made his debut. I think he was brilliant. So West Indies pacers were outclassed South Africa pacers. West Indies middle order was far better than what Markram, who actually again choked. So South Africa, you have to say that South Africa again have this bad habit of choking, and they did that in that chase of where they were 6 over 71 and they at one point of time the equation was quite simple. They like needed 60 of 47 runs and they couldn't get that. So you have to say South Africa choked again, but it was because of West Indies spinners Shamar Joseph and Mathew Forde that they did that. And you have to blame Aiden Markram, but you can't blame Rassie van der Dusen because he's not playing in the correct position. Again, he's been asked to bat at number 5. You can't have Rassie van der Dusen, who's a top order batsman. In SA20, he was opening the batting and he scored 100. You can't have him batting at number 5. He's not a Henrik Klassen. South Africans, please, team management, please understand that. Why are you doing that injustice to Rassie van der Dusen? If you don't have Klassen, play someone else. Play someone else. But I'm happy that Lizard Williams. There were some positives. Lizard Williams bowling and Patrick Kruger's emergence. I think South Africa missed a pacer in T20 World Cup who could bowl slower once, especially versus India in the final. I thought when Rabada came back for that spell where Virat Kohli smashed him, and Virat Kohli, after a patch of 37 balls without a boundary, hit two sixes to Rabada and again accelerated from there. At that point, I think South Africa missed a out and out death bowler like Dwayne Bravo, and someone who could bowl the slower ones. I think Dwayne Pretorius was one of those um, bowlers in the past. There was also Charles Langeveld who used to do the job for South Africa, but the current South Africa bowling lineup doesn't have that kind of a bowler. And now I think with Patrick Kruger coming in, I think he can fill in those shoes. Um, and Quena Mafaka was also quite economical, I think, throughout both the T20Is. He's learned his lessons from the IPL where he was badly smacked by his own countrymen, which was Heinrich Klaassen. But he did well. And West Indies, all kudos to them. They won this series 2-0, and they have, under Rovman Powell, they are looking up to the World Cup 2 years ahead in India and Sri Lanka. And I think the three spinners of Roston Chase, Gutekesh Modi, and Akil Hussain, both Akil Hussain and Gutekesh Modi are two different kind of left-arm spinners. So I think they complement each other quite well. And also Roston Chase adds to the batting. I think this is a good lineup that West Indies have that can go. It will all depend on obviously Nicholas Pooran, Rovman Powell, Shafin Rutherford, Russell Dreyers. I'm expecting him to come back, and he can be a superb bowler and batsman all rounder. So it will all depend on them. And Ali Kathan has looked much more comfortable in this format. I know he's had an okayish test career till now. He's got some 90s and 80s, but he looked more at home opening the batting in T20 cricket. Shai Hope was also brilliant against spin. Um, South Africa, I think Riza Hendricks was superb in that second T20I. Some of those shots Riza Hendricks played against Mathew Forde, they were just mind blowing shots. But yes, Aiden Markram needs to do much better for a batsman who was called in the league of Fab Four and the next Fab Four. I think Aiden Markram disappoints too often. So let's see what happens in the third T20I. It's going to be an immaterial T20I because West Indies have already won the series. After losing the Test series, I think it's a great uplift. But the loss at Guyana for West Indies still hurts. I think it was quite heartbreaking. But yes, they've made a comeback in T20I. And let's see what happens in this series. Please keep following our channel Cricket Caviar. Thanks for subscribing, commenting, and please do subscribe our channel if you have not done till now. Thank you, viewers, for watching our channel Cricket Caviar.